Probably wondering for how I have the title of this video. I know I haven't filmed. The last time I filmed was my 16, my 19 pregnant story time. I'm not pregnant no more. I ended up having a miscarriage on the 15th of April, which is about to be 1 month this Thursday since I lost my baby. I kind of had to wait to make this video where I am not really crying and I'm able to talk. Yeah, let's just get into the video. Okay, so basically what happened was the night before, which was like the 14th, I was experiencing like little cramping. But it wasn't bad cramping. I was fine. It happened like for like 5 seconds and then it went away, which was always normal for me. Like I didn't think nothing of it because of like I asked the doctor like, is that normal? They said yes. It's because your lining is opening to make room for the baby. So I didn't think nothing of it. I just thought it was that, and it only lasted for 5 seconds. So which is a good thing, which is a good sign. You know, nothing bad. From there, I didn't have no pain. The morning of, it was weird. I woke up. I felt very, very different, which I thought was, oh, just a pregnancy thing, normal mood days, mood swings, or whatnot. Until I went to the bathroom. When I used the restroom, a lot of blood came out. At first, I was thinking, like, oh my god, did my baby finally attach themselves to, the lining of my uterus, where it's the implantation officially happening. Not until I started wiping, and I went through multiple wipes where I think I went by like 10 wipes where I noticed that more and more blood started coming out, where I noticed that something was wrong. As soon as more blood came out, I started cramping again. It went from it happened fast, the cramping. It went from a pain from a 2 to a 5, like within 5 seconds. Not even 5 seconds, if that. And I was just in pain. And as soon as I felt that, I got out the bathroom, I grabbed my phone, and I immediately called my fiance. I was just screaming in pain, and I told him, we need to leave, we need to go to the hospital right now. And he was like, what do you mean? I told him that I'm bleeding a lot. That's not a good sign. That is really, really scary. It wasn't even like a spotting. It was just like a lot of blood. A lot of blood. I was just screaming on the phone. It was like a horror movie, like a nightmare that came, a nightmare that sadly came true for how it played out. I was just bleeding and I'm screaming in pain. I can't move from the bed. His boss, he went in the van with his boss, and his boss, ended up stepping on the gas, doing a whole big U-turn. He was about 15 minutes away from the house, because they were on their way to work, and I just I felt helpless. Like, I don't deserve anything good in my life in that moment. And so, as he's on his way, I hung up and I called my sissy, my best friend, my sister. I called her and I'm just sobbing, and her and her mom are trying to calm me down. Her mom is trying to call the ER, so I have a way to get there and not wait so long in the waiting room. But they said over the phone, which I think is so stupid, I had to wait either way if I got there. So, to that hospital, thanks, because as we get deeper in the story, you're gonna see why I have a bad time with this damn hospital and why I would never want to go to that hospital again. And I don't recommend no one going there when you are pregnant or you're going through something like this. God forbid anyone ever has to go through this, and I feel terrible for any woman who has to go through this. I understand you completely. I went through it. It's a horrible experience that no mom, no parent, no mother, no no woman should ever feel this feeling ever in their life, and it's sad to know that it does happen. So basically, as he got home, he literally he had to pull me out of bed. He helped me get in the truck because I couldn't move. I was bleeding so much. I had to put a pad on my underwear because I was bleeding so much that it was gonna bleed through either way. Yeah, so we get to the hospital. As soon as I get in, obviously they get my information. It's like 15 minutes. I waited for a second till they called my name. They took, they checked my blood pressure, my weight. They're trying to move as fast as possible because obviously they can see I am dying in pain. They asked me questions, how long are you? I told them that I just hit 8 weeks and 2 days that day. So basically in my 2 months, I was already 2 months pregnant. I had to wait to get my blood test. Took freaking forever until they finally got to me. They took my blood test. They drew my blood from this arm. From there, I went to the bathroom because I had to pee in a cup. It was just red. It was just red. I just couldn't help but get emotional because I didn't want to go to the bathroom for that reason, because I didn't want to see that. But I ended up having to drinking water because they were going to do me an ultrasound to, take pictures to see what's going on inside my stomach and inside my uterus, seeing if my baby was okay, seeing if I was okay, if there was anything that was happening. But it took almost I want to say 2 or 3 hours, me waiting until my ultrasound, which is freaking insane. And then we went in. I'm in pain. The nurses, it's obvious on my face that I am scared to death. The nurses are trying to be as supportive as they can be, but just by the look on their faces, like knowing that I'm crying in pain and they're gonna do me an ultrasound. It wasn't gonna be good. It's funny because it was a week before my first ultrasound, which is where me and my fiance we were gonna hear our baby's heartbeat. So I had to go get changed. Yeah. So I come out, I sit on the bed, they start, you know, looking at my stomach. I can't see nothing because they're not showing me anything on the screen for the ultrasound. So I'm kind of guessing, and I'm just waiting to hear like them trying to find something. So I can hear my baby's heartbeat and hear that everything's okay, but it was just silence. And the silence in the room was very loud. It was very loud, but I didn't want to accept it. And then they had to put a camera in me, my area, to take pictures inside. It was uncomfortable. It was unpleasant. I felt awkward, especially because my fiance, not necessarily my fiance was in the room, but that was my first time that ever happened to me, so that felt weird to me. It felt just, after that, I changed. Obviously, I just kept seeing blood because I had to use the restroom again, and just more blood, more blood. They took another hour in the waiting room until I was sent to a room. They finally took me to a room. Well, first, they gave me freaking Tylenol, which didn't do shit at all. So, thanks for that. Didn't help the pain because the pain was getting worse and worse. As soon as I got to the hospital, it was literally an 8. And then when I had the Tylenol, it was already at a 10. And then I waited an hour, which was wonderful. And finally I go into a fucking room and they take another 2 hours until a nurse can come in and, check me in and ask me, oh, how's your pain level? I was already so annoyed because I was like, why is no one helping me right now? Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's going on with my body. I don't know what's going on with my baby. Something's not fucking right. You guys are not helping me. My fiance doesn't even know what to ask. I don't even know what to ask. We're both looking at each other like, and at the doctor's like, dude, like, help us. Like, yes, we look young. Yes, we're fucking young. But help us, Jesus. Like, I feel like I'm dying. Like, every part of my body was ripping itself into pieces. I just couldn't help it no more. Like, hello. And, an hour, and then a nurse came in. He was like, hi, your name is this, yes, and it turns out they were missing one vital, and they were gonna have to get another fucking vial of my blood. And then he asked me, oh, by the way, what's your pain tolerance from 1 to 10? I was so annoyed that I'm like, it's a freaking 20 out of a 10. It's getting to 100. I was annoyed. And he was just like, oh, I'm sorry, like, all we can do is just give you Tylenol. That's all you can give me is just fucking Tylenol while I'm in bed in pain. I get it, Probably there's protocols that I don't understand, and if someone does, please let me know. But it was just freaking ridiculous the way I was treated in the moment, most vulnerable in my fucking life that I have ever had to experience in my life. I just felt so alone. Even though my fiance was there and he was comforting me and trying to do his best as he could, I just felt alone because there was not other support there for both of us to feel like everything was going to be okay. There was none of that. And so even know. It was like 6 hours into it. No one has checked up on me. I am in the most pain I've ever felt in my fucking life. I couldn't breathe. He would tell me, breathe, breathe, breathe. I just couldn't breathe. I was in so much pain. It literally felt like if somebody was stabbing me down there and stabbing that same part and just dragging it. Like, that's how it felt. It just felt like I wanted to die. It felt like I wanted to die. I felt like I was going to die. It got to a point where I started feeling pressure, which really worried me because I thought I had to use the bathroom. So I was like, call like the nurse. I feel pressure. I think I have to use the bathroom. If I don't move, I think I'm gonna do it on this bed. And a nurse came, Mama, can I go use the restroom, please? Like, I really don't feel good. I feel a lot of pressure. One of the nurses, he let me go. I went to the bathroom. I'm going. For some reason, I felt like I had to push. Disclaimer: this is gonna get a little graphic. If you don't want to know, just skip ahead. I pushed 3 times, and I ended up getting toilet paper because something felt weird. And when I grabbed it and it pulled out, it was this big. It looked something like deflated, and it was like stretchy a little bit. And then something else came out, which was like a little. It looked like and like big, and then like a cord at the end. I ended up finding out that was the sack and my plug. The plug is what keeps the sack filled with the water up, and like hints of like, oh, when your water breaks, that's when the plug breaks, and the sack releases all the liquid, the blood. Yeah, so that came out, which was a shock to me because I did that alone in a bathroom at a damn hospital. No one was monitoring me. No one was monitoring us. I was by myself, which sucks. So thank you again to that freaking hospital. You did a fantastic job. Thanks. I go back to the room. As I go back to the room, my fiance dad tells me, you just missed the doctor. The doctor just came. I was like, great. Now I'm not going to know what's up. At the time and during that time, I didn't know that was the sack and the plug. I was kind of just like, what the hell is this? What the hell just came out of me? I'm confused. I don't know. I really don't know. I said like 15, 20 minutes. The doctor, finally, she comes in. And they took my vitals. From my blood that they drew, they were able to get the gender of the baby. And it was going to be a girl. And if you guys watched my previous video before, we did say we wanted a girl first. And she ended up telling me that I had a miscarriage. What happened was that my poor baby girl, she couldn't latch on to my lining of my uterus. So due to that, she fell out of the sack. In that moment, I just That just bawled my eyes out. I wasn't, obviously, I'm still not okay. I act like I'm okay. I post TikToks and, oh, it looks like she's getting better, but in reality, I am not okay. Mother's Day, Mother's Day was yesterday, and I still feel like crap because I was supposed to have this beautiful, enormous belly by now, celebrating that I'm about to bring life into the world, and I couldn't even do that. The doctor kept telling me, like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes our bodies can't, you know, are able to hold something different, or we're not producing something enough. And I just didn't care about that. All I cared about was my baby in that moment, and realizing that I may not be able to carry a child, which my fiance tells me every time I tell him that is not true. But after what happened to me, I can't help but not think that and believe that it is true, because I can carry a kid. I could have done that. Yeah, I was debating on making a video, but at the end of the day, I did announce my pregnancy, and you guys have the right to know when I was ready. Do I feel ready? Not really. But the video has to be made, and you guys have to know, because I don't want you guys, wondering, like, oh, let's see the belly. How's the pregnancy going? If you follow me on TikTok, you've already seen the news. Yeah, you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen the news. Of when I lost my kid, I announced it that exact day. After that, I came in, they gave me papers, they discharged me. They didn't recommend me any medication, so thanks for that. I was in pain for a good days. Still bleeding for about 2 weeks. It's a lot. What those 2 weeks were pain in the ass, they were not ideal. And then when our anniversary came, the 23rd, which is when it's going to be our first ultrasound, that was depressing, because that was supposed to be my gift to my husband, my soon-to-be husband, and that I'm getting a child, but that didn't end up working out. When the day of when I lost my kid after I got discharged, I just couldn't help but cry and cry and cry and cry. And my fiance had to tell people that we told that I was pregnant. This happened because they were checking in. I told him to go back to work to distract himself, because I didn't want him, I just didn't want him to sit sit and watch me hurt, and sit and watch me suffer even more. So he told me he didn't want to, but I told him to please go and drop me off at my aunt's house. So yeah, he dropped me off at my tia's house. I cried a lot. I announced my miscarriage that day on TikTok and in Instagram. It's very lonely. I was starting not to feel alone when I was home alone, when I didn't have school and I didn't have work, and my husband would go off to work, and I was cooking, cleaning when I was pregnant. I didn't feel alone. I would talk to my belly. I would read her the Bible, and I would decorate his crib. And now I feel more alone than ever. Now that I'm alone, everyone wants to feel, but I do. That loneliness is never gonna go away within time. Of course, it takes time. It's barely gonna be a month, and I think people are thinking that I'm already over it. In reality, I'm not. I'm just really good at faking that I'm okay. I've done it for so long that you can kind of say I'm a pro at it now. That I'm faking that I'm okay. When really I am dead inside. I'm very much dead inside. My really, 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 really good friends, my sissy and my besties, and they called me and crying. I was crying too with them on the phone. You know, and after those phone calls, I had a call where I was gonna go get my ultrasound and cancel the appointment, and when they had to ask why, I had to tell them no miscarriage. Yeah, it's a healing journey, you can say. It's a healing journey, and this journey is gonna be a long time until I feel okay again. Long time. It's weird not being a mom no more. And, you know, when Mother's Day came, I questioned myself if it counted for me, but I guess it does, which is weird, you know. I will never forget her. I won't until she comes back to me. I like to say until I get that baby in my stomach again, and it turns out to be a girl. I will know that it's her. You know, she came back to me. She's ready this time. You know, that obviously is gonna take some time. That's okay. You know, that's okay. You know, God has mysterious ways of working, and though we may not understand it or understand why, and like question Him every day, why did you take my kid? Why wasn't I not ready to be a mom? Why could I have my little family that you knew I've prayed and asked for? I will never understand it, but I do know why He may have done it, because, you know, maybe she was gonna come out, you know, not so right to the world, and He didn't want to see her suffer, and He probably didn't want me to see me suffer, you know, trying to figure out ways to help my child get better, or maybe it was gonna put me at risk. You know, there's a lot of things that could happen, or put both of us at risk. You know, and I think, you know, He had to do a decision that had to be hard, but know that that was best for the both of us and our family. She's still here with us. She's still a part of our family. She's my baby. Nothing's gonna change until she comes back. Until she comes down here back to me in my stomach. He or she, maybe she'll come out as a boy this time. We never know. Till they come back to me. I don't know. And I just hope and pray that whenever I do get pregnant, this pregnancy actually goes well and we both end up being okay. Yeah, so that's what happened. That's the date of when she She's okay. She's our angel baby. She will forever be our blessing and our angel baby. And we love her so much. And I know she's looking down on me, and I'm doing my best that I can for her. I'm finishing my school, and working hard every day at work. Trying to be okay with myself again. Trying to find that peace and get back into a routine again before. And yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I don't really feel like doing an outro. Hope you guys can understand that. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, or night, or afternoon, wherever you guys are watching this. And yeah, make sure you hug your loved ones. Make sure you tell them you love them, because you never know what might happen. So take advantage. Live your life. Live it to the fullest. Life is too short. Spend it as much as you can, and as much as you can with the people that you love, because it can only take a second before something to happen. To any mom out there who is dealing the same thing I'm going through, you're not alone. I understand and I feel your pain. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm lost for words. And that is not in a good way. Because I always know what to say. Now I don't. But, yeah. That's the story of how I lost my little butterfly. But I know that she's proud of me. And I hope she knows that her mom and dad love her and we miss her very, very much. And we hope and pray one day that she comes back. She comes back to